Hello, this is John from the Haunt Informer,
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and this is episode 23 of Fall Informer. And today we have special guests, Paul and Dave from Markoff's Haunted Forest.
How's it going, guys?
Great.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. So my name is Paul. I'm the VP of Ops for Markoff's Haunted Forest, and this is my associate here, Dave.
Yep, I'm the managing director. I wear many hats, so I don't know if you really want to give me that title, but I do a lot at Markoff's Haunted Forest, and we've been doing this for quite some time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into this long time. 30 years you're going on this season. Started out in 1992 with the haunted school bus.
Yes, you've been doing your research.
It saves us the trouble of telling the story. Huh?
It's true. Well, I don't have to know the whole story. Yes, but Markoff's Haunted Forest was started by three brothers, the Markoff brothers, hence the name. And while they were in college, they were actually living out of a school bus, believe it or not. And this was years before the whole van life thing came about. So not when it was cool. They were living in the school bus.
Yeah, it was a 1962 Bluebird. I saw the title in a frame up in the office from the original bus.
So they decided, they got the bright idea to haunt it and drive it around, park it in parking lots, and set it up as a little mobile haunted house. And it did so good. It did so good.
Well, not the first couple of weeks.
Well, no.
They got chased out of parking lots by the cops. People were calling. And finally, they got a little bit of traction. It was like, aha, now we got something.
Yeah, good enough that they were willing to bring it back to Maryland here and set it up. And it's become what is now known as Markoff's Haunted Forest.
Nice.
Awesome. Any big plans for the 30th anniversary this season? You guys working on anything big for the 30th celebration?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Transworld's for. We've all kind of just gone hands off after we had an exhaustingly busy, really successful season, even with the COVID and stuff happened. And so I feel like each of us are going to bring some good ideas. They're hush hush at the moment, but we're going to do some major changes. At least the town's going to get a huge upgrade this year. A couple different set designs. We try to keep it fresh every year. We can't physically change everything because of the sheer volume of stuff we have, but every year you'll find 2 or 3 new scenes or new themes or new ideas.
Nice. So my first question for you is, I did some research as well, and I saw on your Instagram that you actually have a custom chicken illusion box from VFX Crates. And how did that actually happen? How did you get that custom commission?
Well, we've worked with VFX quite a bit.
I think since they were brand new at the trade show.
Yeah. And we have a number of those boxes, but a chicken one's my favorite. And we pulled it out. We used it on a newscast for Fox 5 News.
Yeah.
And Kevin McCarthy, who does all their movie reviews and things, he did not know that was about to happen. So it was real reaction from him. It was great. And he fell in love with that prop afterwards. So that chicken in a box, or however you want to call it.
Aforementioned something else in a box.
Yes.
But
it's become a winner, and we love walking around and just getting the unsuspecting guests there.
That's great. Because I'd never seen that anywhere else. That was the first time I'd seen that. So
I think we were talking to is there any way we get a chicken on? The guy's looking at us like, what? I'm like, yeah, in the box. He's like, okay, yeah, we could do that for you. 4 winning.
Nice.
Awesome. You guys do at least one event off season that looked really, really interesting. I've never seen any other one do this. It's called Spooky Spoke, which is like a BMX bike type event. How'd that come about?
So that was actually, again, way back in the day. Let's take a step back. Markoff's Haunted Forest is a benefit performance for Kaleva Outdoors. So for the rest of the year, we're not Markoff's Haunted Forest. We're actually Kaleva. And the mission is to get kids outside and get them to experience the outdoors. So all of us have a passion for being outside. I'm a kayaking instructor, climbing instructor. We do all sorts of things.
I'm not.
Paul doesn't.
I'm strictly the haunt guy. That's it. So
yeah, but so all of us are into the outdoors, and I don't know what year was the first year that they did Spooky Spokes.
This is probably 15 years.
Probably 15 years ago. And it was a mountain bike race through the haunted forest.
Yeah.
And so it's just a really silly, crazy thing to do. It's one of those things we brought back this past year, and kind of dusted that off, and it's coming back, and it was a really, really fun race.
It was a successful thing this year. Because the first year we did it, it was kind of a joke, and I guess Alex, who's by far of the three brothers, the one that's just got the craziest of crazy ideas. He decided to do this, and he was talking a bunch of smack. So as they're riding through at night, we all armed up with paintball guns and just lit everybody up as they're coming by. So it just added this little extra, but at this point in time, it's, we had a lot of kids and things. So the paintball guns stayed in the closets.
Yeah, we actually had a total kids race this year. So there's the regular adult version, and then we had a shorter version. It was like a 1 mile, little kids fun run and fun bike race.
Yeah, a couple hundred people showed up for that, which is really surprising. So
that's awesome. Like I love it. I love that idea. I always see like the zombie fun run type things that haunts do, but to have like an actual like mountain bike thing, that's definitely unique and awesome sounding.
Yeah, it helps when you're on a farm with about 240 acres.
Yeah. There's a lot of space to do things.
Yeah, we have some space to run a haunt, as well as run a challenge course, as well as run a sustainable agriculture program and horseback riding, and have fields for our cows and to grow hay with. So there's a lot that goes on the Caleva farm.
Definitely. And they rode the mountain bikes through all the scenes.
Yeah.
And we're jumping over tombstones and all this other stuff. And I'm just going, oh God, please don't hit anything. Please don't. We got one people left. Jesus, come on.
Oh man, that's great. So I've never actually been to Markoff's Haunted Forest. I've heard lots of great things about your haunted attraction for years, and I'd love to go out and see your attraction because it looked really cool on the internet. I've heard great things, but I found out that Buddy from Lehigh Valley Screen Park actually visited your haunt and was inspired from you to use your number system. And I wanted to know, how did you guys figure it out initially with your number system?
Ooh, yeah, how did back in the day, it used to be just a very, very long queue line, and we'd have people do the queue line entertainment, a long, long time ago. And then when we started having more than, say, 1,000 people a night, when it started getting 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like, holy cow, what are we going to do? And it was brother Matt, one of the brothers, Matt, the youngest. He kind of came up with that concept. I don't know if he stole it from Disney or wherever he got it, but we all hated it. We're like, dude, that's terrible. What are you talking about? And the first year was like, wow, we are never going back to anything else.
No.
Big bonfires. And we still have, as a backup, in case we run out of printed tickets, we still have the old school lanyards with the original printed tickets on them.
Nice.
We'd have to run them all the way back up and then gather them when they came out and then run them back. And, we only had so many. So I think it was Matt that came up with that.
It definitely was. It's just nice that folks don't have to wait in line. I know I've been to many haunts where I will stand there for hours and hours and hours, but this gives folks the chance to go to our concessions and get something to eat, hang out on our bonfires, which if you've seen videos, like we're talking bonfires, it is a bonfire, literally the size of a small school bus.
Actually, they are ceremonial burns.
I'm sorry, yes.
We have to get a burn permit every year from Montgomery County from the EPA. So they are ceremonial burn pits because they're not a campfire. They're literally 30 feet in diameter. And we have logs that are at least 2 feet just being dropped in by a giant loader, all hours before we start up. So
folks will message us on Instagram and be like, do you guys do s'mores? Can I bring stuff to do s'mores? I was like, you would need a 30-foot stick. That's how far you have to stand on the fire if you want to roast that marshmallow. If you get too close, whew.
Although we did, this year we had a little small separate area with a small bonfire, and you could rent a cute little spot with a table for you and your girlfriend or whatever, and get a bag of s'mores and chocolate and have a small managed campfire.
Yes, that is okay.
Yeah,
but around our big fires, I don't recommend it.
Speaking of the entertainment area and everything, I did see you guys do your makeup artists do free face painting for your guest and everything, that they can go and get face painted, which I never seen at another haunt. That's definitely unique.
Yeah. So one thing that's different about Markoff's than other haunts is we're a ways outside of the city.
A good hour ride.
A good hour drive outside DC. And so when people come to us, it's not just to pop in for a quick little go through a haunted walkthrough. They're there for the whole night. And so we just want to give them as much bang for their buck as possible. So you come out and there's entertainment, there's things to do. You really want to plan on spending the evening at Markoff's Haunted Forest. And so having that face painting and just as a free thing, that's awesome. People are excited. They're taking pictures, they're posting on Instagram, and that's what we want. So even though it's free and we're paying the artists to be there, it actually pays off in the end because you get more people that are excited about Markoff's Haunted Forest.
Yeah, it's just it's a little give back. Like, hey, thanks for making the drive. Let's make you look weird.
And then you get to post it on social media, and that's
exactly.
It's all coming back to you guys. Hey, come out to Markoff's, get your face painted, stand around a huge bonfire. That's awesome.
Yeah, if you actually go through Instagram, I think 90% of the pictures are of the campfires.
Yeah.
Ceremonial burns.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you go through, that's what you see. You also see the big red Christmas tree, the light up one, not this one. And I'm like, there's so much better stuff to take pictures of.
We have so many different spots you can get just a banging photo at, and they just go, oh, well, I'm here, click, post. Like, oh, come on, come inside. Look at all the other cool stuff we spent months making.
Yeah.
All right. So talking about making your own products, this perfectly ties into this question. Since you have your own CNC machine and a fiberglass shop, you're able to complete entire projects just on your property. You don't have to go to someone else to get it. What has been the most fun project to work on at all the years you've worked at Markoff's?
Oh man, we have so many really cool. It seems like every year we do something that's just even cooler than the year before. But I mean, hell, the whole town, that's itself is an amazing thing. And that actually came from a different spot. We had built that and did something in the Haunted Harbor in DC, and we had constructed all the buildings ourselves. We set it up for what, a month?
That was it.
And then that was it. And we trucked all these giant buildings that we stick framed up together. We parked it out back. And then a year later, like, hey, let's make a Western town. So that was really fun to get that all put together.
It wasn't going to be Western.
It was going to be a spooky town.
Somebody else decided, I want to ride my horses through here. So it became a Wild West town.
All right. We do have a large equestrian program. There is some influence from the parents that, you know, but. Yeah.
Paul, this is to you and to Chris. I think one of the coolest things I've seen them create was this 30-foot tall skeleton, and it was all hand carved. So we didn't use the CNC for that. We've CNC'd a lot of other things, but it was all hand carved, 30-foot tall. There's good pictures of it online, but it's when you first walk into the haunt, that's the first thing you see is this giant skeleton that's roaring and blowing smoke. And
that was cool. That was an engineering challenge because there's no manual that says, oh, in order to make this giant thing, you have to put, like, okay, well, here we go. We're going to overbuild the crap out of this thing so we don't kill anybody. And sadly enough, when you walk through, everybody's too scared. They're looking down at their feet. Half the people miss it because it's literally 30 feet in the air. So,
oh man, if I went to Markoff's, I would definitely look at it.
Please do. Let us know, and we'll you can do a lights on tour.
Look around because there's so much cool stuff out there. A lot of our props we do try to make in-house. There's a lot of stuff we buy. We're headed to Transworld this week to go put our big orders in. And a lot of stuff we find, if you actually like look back and talk to some of us about the stories, we have these big doors, big ass doors is the name of them.
That's what we call them.
It was the backdrop for Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath tour.
Yep.
And there's also two large gargoyles that came from that same tour.
Yep.
And so when you walk around, there's lots of really interesting things with interesting stories to go along with it.
Yeah, some of that, I'd love to say we made those because those are great.
I know.
Yeah, and we do have to rely on some of the vendors because for us to do just one of something, the cost is astronomical on something. So the rule is, and actually Alan Hobbs gave me this rule when I was hanging out with him, taking his math class a couple of weeks ago, is like, if you need to make more than 5, then go ahead and make a mold and invest in it. But anything else, it's like, yeah, sure, we're going to buy 2 things. Yeah, sure, why not? We've been through all the major manufacturers with all the animatronics and everything, and we can tell you who's good and who's bad. We're not going to bash anybody. Our favorite is obviously Poison Props.
Yep.
So Adam is awesome, but they just recently, I guess a year or 2 ago, they got bought out by Fright Factory or Fright Ideas or whoever.
Fright.
Thank you. Very Fright names. I mean, those are solid things. It just depends on what we want to invest in. And a lot of times what we do with the props that we get from people, we'll beat the crap out of them. We're cycling their props 5,000 times a night or more. And they're outside. It's not like you're inside. So there's moisture in the line, there's dust, there's dirt. So we break them and then we re-engineer them for our use.
Yeah. And what's nice is even if you break a prop, you can then turn that animatronic into a prop and you can just use it that way. So.
Oh yeah,
there's so much we can do.
Yeah, so many things. Drag the welder out. We've got power and air to every place in the woods, and then just plug the welder in. Here we go. All right, we're done. A lot of people have to pay a technician to come out and do that. No, that's me or Dave. We're kind of the Swiss Army tools. Swiss Army tool sounds so.
No, we're definitely tools.
Has there ever been an idea that you guys had that like you just couldn't execute either due to time or just budget? Was there an idea you guys had that were just like, this would be amazing, but you just couldn't?
There's a book of ideas. Probably this thick.
Was there pick one that was just like that you had off that was just like, this would be amazing, but there's no way we could pull this off?
I mean, I know I wanted to do an entire house that you walked in. It looked crooked, and then the entire house started moving. And we're not talking just like a little 10 by 10 room. We're talking like 30 by 30 framework that is just doing that. We're looking around going, we can't even get a permit for this. There's no damn chance. Like, we've got the engineering skills. We just, they're going to look at us and go, what do you mean? You're building a house and it's got airbags and it's going to move? Like, does not compute to the inspector. So that's personally for me. I'm sure Dave's got a whole bunch too.
Well, I'm thinking for the junkyard, we've wanted to build a transformer for the longest time. So the final scene at Markoff's Lawn and Forest, which will never change because because
we don't have any place to put any of the stuff.
No, exactly.
It's all concreted and welded together.
It's a literal junkyard. It's where the haunted bus resides right now, as well as a couple other things, including an airplane and all sorts of things. But we have the cab off of
like a Peterbilt,
and we want to take that and have like a full-on moving transformer, shooting flames and other things.
One day.
So one day
we'll get to it. We
have the things. The problem is that this is something that we don't do full time.
Yep.
Like I said, I do all sorts of other stuff. Paul does all sorts of other stuff throughout the season. We really get to work on Markoff's Haunted Forest for the months of maybe July, August, September, and then we're in it in October. And so unlike a lot of these other folks that as soon as they close, they're getting ready and working on the next season already. We have other responsibilities because the Kaleva is our full-time gig. Yes, and Markoff's Haunted Forest is just something on the side.
Gotcha. So I know your Midway has a lot to offer. I've seen lots of coverage of it. So not only do you have zip lines, which you do not see at haunted houses often, you also have, like you said, your massive bonfire, axe throwing, food stands, and you have a little merch stand as well. So I want to know, how did you get into the zip line? Did you go to like IAPA, or like what did you do to think of like, we need zip lines here?
That's a Dave question. He's our master of these things.
So definitely that's the Kaleva side coming through to the Haunted Forest. So we have multiple challenge courses across the DC area. So we're building zip lines and giant swings and things that we use for our team building and school programs throughout the rest of the year. And so it made sense to just bring some of that over. Originally, our front circle, that's what we call our waiting area, or Midway. Our front circle was a space that was shared by Kaleva and the Haunted Forest, and we would rebuild it every single year. Yeah. And so that giant swing and the zip lines that we use for Kaleva year round were also incorporated into the Haunted Forest during October. A few years ago, we realized that it was just too much, that we weren't giving the Haunted Forest enough, and Kaleva also wasn't getting enough attention. And they need to be separate. So we did some big changes. We created a permanent place. And so we built a few new zip lines over there, including one that is, the Stairway to Heaven. You go all the way up and it's a 2-stage rappel. Zip line, but you go all the way over to this giant sycamore tree and then back. We have a death jump, which is like a free fall device that you clip into. So we bring a lot of the challenge course elements into the Haunted Forest because what's better than breaking people down in
the middle of the dark, kicking you off a 30, 40, 50-foot pole and say, get on it.
Yeah, usually challenge course elements are designed to lift up and to build you up, but we're just here to break you down.
Yeah. And so all the events, yes, we do build them in-house. We have certified, people that are on the Kaleva staff, and we go through a rigorous testing and inspection program yearly just because they're used for the kids programs as well. So yeah, it's just not like, hey, Dave, let's go put a piece of rope between these two trees. Get it. No, there's some engineering going on.
Years ago in the woods, there was definitely a little bit of that going on.
There could have
been. This is something I definitely want to ask since Paul is right here. I wanted to say, I thought it was really cool that not only Paul, but also Nick are on custom stained glass designs on the church. And I thought that was so much fun. And I want to know how many Easter eggs are on the property that actually like hidden names and things related to the staff on the property.
we have a fair amount. I mean, when we first did that, the church is called the Church of St. Paul. That was my big brainchild years ago because we had this little crappy one and decided, we're going to rebuild it. We CNC'd all the foam panels, hand carved all the things, did all the things. And finally, we had talked about, like, this is one of the ideas. We need stained glass with people in it. And we finally got it done. And it's amazing. But within the church, we have some little things that Dave and I put as we're CNCing the panels. There's some phallic gestures with fingers, there's a little Mickey Mouse somewhere. A lot of the tombstones have old employees' names on them all throughout the cemetery. And one of the fun things we'll do is if we know you have a big group coming and you're really close to the family, if you tell us ahead of time, like Nick, the owner, he had his daughter out and all her Naval Academy graduate buddies, and we did tombstones for all of them. So as they're taking their stroll through the thing, being terrified, they're like, oh God. So, we've been known to do that for things. A lot of the pumpkin scene has a couple little fun items in there, and some of them, are not necessarily age appropriate. I don't know who's going to watch this video, but there's a lot of references. We got an amazing Trumpkin shirt, which is hilarious. It's Donald Trump as a pumpkin. It's hilarious. Just little things.
My head is everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So years ago, we were approached by a production company, and they said, "Hey, random question. Our severed head prop fell through that we were supposed to have for the shoot. Do you guys have anything?" And we didn't have anything awesome at the time, so we're like, "No, just give us a second."
Yeah.
And so,
when do you need it by? Tomorrow? Cool. Let's go.
Well, it was right around this time we were getting ready to leave for Transworld, and
Yep.
we're busy airbrushing my head. So we did a full silicone mold and created this head for a movie.
It was a giant head.
It
Dave's
is a
got
giant
a
head.
big ass head.
I have
Like,
a big head.
It was like 2 smooth on kids, like the big ones.
But so because we had the mold, my head is everywhere. So you
Everywhere.
walk through the junkyard, you go past a coffin. In one of the old chainsaw scenes, it was sitting there with a chainsaw going through it.
Yeah,
You
Dave's
just look
head's
around,
everywhere.
no beard. So imagine me without a beard.
Okay.
But it's hilarious. You're like, wait, there he is. Oh wait, there he is again.
We
Yep.
should do like a contest one night to like count all the Daves.
Yeah,
So we should.
that's a great one. That is a good. And actually, all of our T-shirts that we do, we try to put out a new T-shirt every year, and it's all themed around us. We don't. I mean, we're a little different in how we do our T-shirts, but most of the time they have a lot of local influences in them. Like our favorite one was a Maryland license plate. It was kind of influenced by the band Clutch. They did something similar, but if you really look at the logo, it's a little tiny skull holding something up in there, and then there's little writing Markoff's established. So everything we do has just little Easter eggs in it. It's just really, I mean, it's cool, and the staff love it, and we love it.
Yeah, because I always look for that stuff when I go to haunted houses. Like when I went to Brighton Asylum, Rich, he actually has like a poster of him, like the very first room when you go through this motion simulator of a subway car, and there's like an ad of him as like a lawyer, and it's a drop down scare. That's genius. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, we need to plus it a little bit on that one, up our game. So send me a good high quality of both of y'all, and we'll make sure we put you somewhere. How's that? Give me a good photo.
Awesome.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. What are some of your top 3 haunts that you guys would love to check out across the country?
Oh man, it's sad for me. I haven't been to that many. I mean, aside from all the local ones around here, but I'd love to go out to. You guys went out to LA and saw that one.
We did, yeah. Shortly after they opened, we went to the LA Hayride, which was a wild little trip. We flew out there, went through the haunt, flew back because we had to open the next day. So it was a really quick turnaround.
Yeah. Yes, we had some Southwest points we had to burn, right?
I still want to get down to Woods of Terror. That's been on my list for a while. Going and checking out Woods of Terror and Kirsty Valley Spooky Woods. I got a soft spot for those North Carolina haunts.
They are fun.
They're pretty awesome down there.
Oh God, the darkness. I want to see that. I mean, I saw it during the daytime, but I want to actually go through and see it running.
You mean Dark Hour?
Dark Hour, sorry. The dark.
Yes. I was gonna say we see darkness when we go to Transworld all the time.
Right. Yeah,
But Dark Hour, Alan Hops does an amazing job down there. So.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing it with the lights on, it's like, all right, I can only picture what this looks like with the lights off. There's a couple. What's there? There's one in New York that I would like to go to. Oh my God, I am the worst.
Netherworld.
Yeah.
Netherworld is on my list.
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Going down to Georgia.
I wanted to see Haunted Hoochie too. I mean, that one, that just seems like so outrageous that I must see it.
Yeah.
I've heard there's like a guy who kills himself in the very first scene.
Yeah.
Blows his head off.
Yeah. That's, I mean, it's terrible, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Netherworld's been on my list. For Kaleva, we always did this program down in Georgia and Tennessee right after the haunt closes. Literally, I get done doing the haunt, I get in a bus and I drive to Georgia. And so it's always been
on
like
no sleep.
I'm no sleep. But it's always been like
wearing makeup.
Just,
he's driving a bus full of kids to Georgia.
I'm meeting kids down there. But I'm always like, can I find a haunt that's open still? And one year I'm looking around and it was in near Chattanooga. And I was like, okay, the Haunted Barn. It's good reviews. It looks great. I roll in and it's literally like a backyard haunt.
Oh my God.
But it was really well done. Like I was impressed. But I was like, dang, I just wish I could have gotten down to Netherworld because that is on my bucket list for haunted houses.
That's fair. A lot of times when we're done and we close the doors, I'm like, all right, sweet. I don't want to think about it till like March. Bye. I'm so tired. I'm so frustrated. I'm so exhausted,
Yes.
You can see some of that frustration, exhaustion in all those YouTube videos that you're in, Paul.
Yeah, all of them. I'm just pissed off the entire time. You know, it's part of the joke. Like, why is he grouchy? What? Yeah, man. Oh, he's drinking in the corner again. Yep, I sure am. Yeah, I think anybody in the business knows that when it's on opening night and you're so underprepared, you got staff calling, especially COVID really kicked our asses. You know, having to redo the ticket queue and everything else. You know, it was, and everybody had the same problem. So, you know, I'm not the only one crying, but.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh man. So another question I have for you is last year you actually mixed multiple trails together and you actually had one of the longest trails you've ever done. And I heard it was actually 45 minutes long. Is that true?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, 45 plus a little bit sometimes.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah, people were tired. I mean, we were tired running. I mean, like, because I'm heading up to maintenance and security, you know, and all that other as well, and EMS stuff. And it's like, boom, boom, all the like 15 miles a night.
Yeah.
And no wonder I'm so skinny. This is ridiculous. It was long. And you know, we decided actually, Nick, the owner's like, no, we can't make it that long. I'm like, Nick, come on. You know, we upped our prices. It's one trail. And so what do you want to do? I said, let's just go up and down the hill. Fortunately for us, Kaleva, the farm that they bought, the woods is amazing. It's got several ups and downs with a really nice creek through it. So the terrain is ripe for that type of thing. So we just, up and down, up and down, up and down. You just see people, they had to pull over and just take a breather. And we had to make sure we had extra people to just say, okay, are you tired? All right, why don't you hang out here? Let's let a couple groups pass. Because otherwise it'd just be a conga line for 45 minutes. And that sucks.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Because I listened to the review from the Haunt Review crew. And they said, oh, we were so tired after that.
Well, it all came about. We've been running two trails. We have three main attractions. We have two trails in the woods and the town, which is one of the things I run, that Wild West theme ghost town. But when COVID hit, we realized that, okay, if we're going to do a timed ticketing system, we really can only do it for one thing to have it make sense. And so that was when it was like, okay, we're going to go down to one trail. And we cut a few of those scenes out the first year, so 2020. And this past year, with that up and down trail that Paul was talking about, we were able to pick up the rest of the scenes that kind of been forgotten about. And we were able to incorporate everything in and create just a really cool attraction. Yeah,
made some things bigger. The graveyard is giant now.
Yes.
It's massive. So
that was
cool.
It's what the church needed. You have this massive church. It's awesome. You needed a massive graveyard to go with it.
Awesome. This sounds awesome. 45 minutes of walking plus,
yes.
And then you're going to get thrown up on the zip line. And then just, this just sounds like
including the town. Like the town sounds so cool.
Yeah. So that is on the other side of the farm. You have to get on a tractor. It's what started out as a hayride. Funny story. I lost in a game of rock, paper, scissors to a gentleman by the name of Big Tick on who was going to be in charge of the hayride, because it was all the 12, 13, 14-year-olds that nobody really wanted. And it was kind of a joke.
Yeah, I'm going, not it.
Yeah. Well,
I'll help you, whatever you need.
But we took that and ran with it and created a really cool attraction. And as Paul was talking about with the Haunted Harbor, we had these buildings sitting around. I was like, hey, listen, I got a crazy idea. I want to take these buildings and set them up behind our hay barn, and I'm going to make people get off the wagon. And so you used to always drive through the hay barn, and it was a great scene. And we pulled in as normal. Everybody thought everything was normal. All of a sudden the lights went out and red lights start spinning. The beacons are spinning. Alarms are going off.
The zombies.
And that was
good.
And
that was a good one.
It was. And so we opened up the doors like, all right, everybody out. And people were like, ha, yeah, really funny. Like, no, get out. And so they were forced off of a hay wagon. Like it's a big wagon. And they had to go through this little zombie apocalypse style town and then hop back on the other side. And people were blown away. They're like, this was amazing. I was not expecting that. Yeah. And so we stuck with it and we built a permanent attraction back there called the town. And even now, people get off the wagon. Like we open up the gate to unload and they're like, yeah, wait, what? I have to walk?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. How you do?
That's great. That's really great because it gives you that false sense of security. Like, oh, I'm going to go on the wagon. You're like, no, you're not safe.
Exactly. And it's also nice because it's a very different feel. Like the Haunted Forest, we got the in the front circle, there's the DJ and the fires and the lights and the junkyard. You end with heavy metal music and again, lights and fire. It's really bright. It's really loud.
Very festive.
Very festive. The town, since we're on the other side of the property, it's quiet. You just hear like the crickets chirping. I don't have to do anything for an ambient track. It's all right
dude,
there.
It's there.
And
Fog's
so
rolling across the field by itself.
yeah, you look up at the stars. It's just a different experience. And so all of a sudden you feel alone and you feel like you're just out there because you are.
Yeah, you are out on the other side of nowhere.
Yep. So hopefully there'll be a wagon waiting for you at the end to take you back.
Exactly.
I gotta imagine like weather plays a lot with you guys. I mean, if it's like raining, I mean, it's got to be hard to open if it's, especially in a forest with the rain and everything. It's got to be muddy. It's got to be difficult.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's weird where we're situated because we are right adjacent to the Potomac River and Leesburg and things. So the way the weather patterns move, it could be pouring down rain 10 minutes from us and blue skies where we are. So everybody looks at the weather and like, oh, we're not going. And like, no, really, it's clear out here. But if it is a deluge, we can't. The cars will get stuck in the field. People slip and fall. You know, all the ladies that like to wear flip-flops or their 6-inch heels are going to sink into the mud and get mad and buy them a new set because that happens. You know, yeah, weather sucks, but it's better than being inside, I think. I'd love to do inside. I mean, Dave and I talked about, we'd love to do something inside because the setup, we could work on it all year, but you just lose that. You know, you spend so much money doing something inside to make it feel like you're kind of outside.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
We get that for free. I mean, not for free, but
yeah. The cost is that we're dealing with the weather, and then we're also dealing with the rest of the year that stuff falls, tree branches fall out there in the woods, scenes are destroyed because something happens out there,
like a tornado
or tornado comes through. All things that have happened recently, and so we deal with it, and all we can do is roll up our sleeves and get back to work and rebuild
all the time. The mice love to eat through absolute squirrels chew through all the electrical lines. Where is this fault now? I don't even know where did this power line come from?
That's crazy. So are there any final thoughts you have that you want to tell everybody about Markoff's Haunted Forest for this year, your opening days, teasers?
Have we even picked the days yet? I mean, we'd have to look at the calendar. I want, big shout out to the Haunt Finder General for making us #1, which is awesome. We love having Sean out. He's amazing and quite honestly, one of the best reviewers out there. I think he does such a detailed and amazing job, and he's seen so many. So, other than that, a lot of good changes this year. I don't even know the dates yet. Our website probably hasn't even been, like literally we just go, I'm out, and that's it. Because most people in the DC area, it's so darn busy out here. It's really hard. Okay, October is Halloween time. Not many people want to come out in September. And, we get a few, maybe 1,000 total people that would come out split between say September and November. And it's just not fiscally worth it to us to have to pay all the staff to run,
Makes sense.
So October 1st is a Saturday.
Well,
so
I'm probably opening the 29th.
September 30th.
30th, right.
Yep. September 30th the 1st. And again, it varies. We typically try to do 13 nights in a season. One, because we love the number 13, but two, because it's manageable for us.
Yeah.
We have to think about everything else going on. And the fact that, again, Markoff's is something fun we do. It is a fundraiser for Kaleva. But, we also have to think about the programs and everything else that's going on. So 13 nights, it's pretty good with us.
Yeah, we forgot about pizza night, and we opened the out of the way bar or the upside down bar.
Upside down bar.
Yeah, so you can reserve a special table, have brick oven wood fired pizza. Is that how you say it? Wood fired brick oven, brick fired wood pizza. Right?
What?
Yeah, so you get a table, you bring your party out, you get a legit pizza that's made, cooked on our ovens with all the produce and all the meats and things. We make our own pepperoni from all the animals on the farm, so you can have that. You can have a nice glass of wine that's been paired from some of the local wineries. Hang out in that secluded atmosphere from the front circle. And then when you walk around the corner to your special entrance, it's like, bam, there's the front waiting area with all the bonfires and the DJ music. It's just, you can go from just so many different experiences in just one little area. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
You'll find me at the bar.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. It sounds absolutely amazing from like as soon as you get there to when you leave. It does not sound like you would be bored whatsoever with anything.
Nope, there's not much room for boredom there.
No. I mean, but sadly, what happened with the COVID numbers now and everything, we have to, the front circle we designed for 5,000 to 6,000 people, and now we're capped. So we're only going to have X amount of people in per night. So sometimes we walk around and we go, man, it's empty, but we're sold out. What the hell's going on around here? It's made this giant town. So yeah, at times people walk around, but then a lot of people say, hey, this is really great because I'm not butts to butts with people. And, we have our own space. We can find a place to sit down. We can enjoy the fire. And, pros and cons to everything.
Yep.
But yeah, please come check us out. Check the website updates. You know, we'd love to have you guys out. Love to have anybody else who's watching the video to come on out. Let us know how you found us and link it to you. And yeah, I mean, this is not our full-time business. This Kaleva is the outdoor education company. This is just a fun thing we do, and it's just grown into, you know, the #1 thing to do in DC in October.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why everybody's like, I haven't heard of you, but you've been doing it for 30 years. It's like, yeah, because we're not on hauntworld.com. Like, we don't do any of the big traditional outlets for haunt marketing because
we don't need to.
We don't need to.
I think we were sold out pretty much every, like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week in October. We were sold out, just done. Which is shabby.
No,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
We've created quite the reputation here in the DC area and beyond, and we got folks coming from all over the country to come out to see us. So,
and Europe and I mean, we've had some pretty. Either way, I could go on for days. Yeah, you guys got my Halloween brain kicking out. That was not supposed to happen until Thursday when we landed in St. Louis.
I was going to say, yeah, you're a cute early.
I know. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna need a cocktail. Jeez.
All right. So thank you very much for talking to us. And I have been John from the Haunt Informer.
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
And this was episode 23 of Fall Informer. And definitely check out Markoff's Haunted Forest in the future and during their normal operations as well. Definitely check out everything they have to offer.